And so round 5 would start. Slim Pippin would indicate that he folded trips, and Reich Longstaff would indicate that he did in fact fold Ace King. Mikey Zinovka on the button. Sorry, on the big blind. A table folds around to Slim Pippin. He decides to take a look. See. He decides to take a look. See, and Maximum Veloz will also limp in. Madness Roth on the button will decide to fold. Tommy will limp, and Mike probably will check. Yep, there we go. Board is 10 of clubs, 3 clubs, 9 of hearts, which leaves the flush draw possibility, and also an open and a straight draw. Tommy decides to bet for 40. Mickey decides to call, and I don't imagine I'd see Slim folding here. Yep, he decides to make the call, and Maximum Veloz had enough and decided to fold. The king comes up, completing any straight draws that Queen Jack might have. However, it's the king of clubs, which also completes any flush draws that may have been. So yes, if someone has the straight and someone has the flush, we could definitely see some fireworks here. Tommy Taney taking some time before deciding to check. I think he's got one of those two hands, either the flush or the straight. He was probably deciding how to get paid off, and if so, Slim Pippin has taken the bait, and he decides to call. Now Tommy Taney must bet here. Slim Pippin will not follow up. Will not follow a bet on the river. And no, Tommy Taney decides to check, and Slim Pippin gets away relatively scot-free with his pair of kings. Tommy Taney slow playing the ace-high flush. Well, it was a good trap, and actually got some chips into the pot. At the moment he flat called, he was more or less required to bet on the river. His failure to bet on the river would ultimately cost him some chips. Like I would have recommended a value bet, because if you did put a slim on like a pair of kings or something like that, try to make it a value bet. See if try to make it a value bet. See if you can get a call. And so Vanity Hermans is the big blind. Small raise from Sunshine Kit would get 2 quick calls from. It would get a quick call from Maximum Veloz, and Tommy would re-raise on top of Sunshine's raise. Now Tommy's in a position of strength. Tommy's in the position of strength. He should follow up with a bet right here. He could probably take down this pot right now. Slim Pippin, Sunshine Kit decides to check, and Maximum Veloz bets the minimum. Tommy Taney decides to fold. That I don't like, because Maximum Veloz is probably playing like connectors or something like that. He's a fairly weak player, and because Sunshine tends to bet her cards, so she probably Tommy definitely could have gotten the Tommy Taney could have definitely gotten the pot right here. All you had to do was follow up with a bet between 200 and 300, and that probably would have been more than enough. And Sunshine Kit, because Tommy Taney folded to the min bet on the flop, would take down the pot with king high. Though I guess I shouldn't be ripping on Tommy so much. After all, he's there and I'm not. But then again, I did get sucked out. I did get sucked out when my top pair would crack to a top pair with a lower kicker. But that's poker. Well, no, I stand by my critiques. Tommy Taney's timing really seems to be off in this one. Pardon me, I'm just getting a case of the yawns. And no, that's not a statement on the poker playing. Let's see here. We're seeing a very passive round. 5 players in, only min bet. calls pre-flop. 5-4-4 on boards. Checks all around, and okay, I think what happened is my connection to Second Life died, so I'm going to shut things down right here, and I guess I'll get back as soon as I get reconnected.